Hello. Good to be back with you. Winter weather has prevented one or two of our broadcasts, but hang in with us, please. This coming Sunday is the fourth Sunday, what we call ordinary time, and I want to share some good things from the gospel with you about this Sunday. But first of all, I want to do these announcements because, again, I might forget. A friend of mine, in fact, Scott, said, if the Lions beat San Francisco this weekend, remember to fulfill your promises to God when you said, if the Lions win, I'm going back to church. Expect to see you in a couple of weeks. Let me see. Oh, it's amazing how many Lions fans there are now. A couple of years ago, I'm telling you, you couldn't find them at the zoo. But now I have so many people say, oh yeah, I'm a Lions fan, sure. But not like Father Larry, who was the pastor before me. Remember, those of you who have been coming to St. Benedict's, Father Larry was an avid Lions fan. Come rain or shine, come loss or win. Now that's a fan. But most of you are like me, fair weather. The Knights of Columbus are hosting their every so often Knights at the races this Saturday night. That's February 28th. Right after the 4:00 Mass. So there's just a $5 admission, which is wonderful, and I'm sure some goodies. I don't think a whole meal, but nice nibbles and fun at the races. And it's good for the kids too. It's not. It's play, shall we say. We would like your anniversary pictures in. This is, the beginning of this coming week. Please, at least by the middle of the week for February 11th, we're celebrating World Marriage Day and marriages in our parish that are in 5-year, 10-year increments, or any marriages over 60 years. If you could get us a wedding picture, get it to the office in the next week, within the next 7 days, and of course the date of your anniversary. Let me see, of course 2 weeks from Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday, and we are bound to be in that bowl. Palms, bring your palms to burn for Ash Wednesday. Now, you know that Ash Wednesday is on February 14th this year, Valentine's Day. So it just makes a suggestion that you celebrate Valentine's Day the day before. We call it Punchki Day or a Fat Tuesday for obvious reasons. We're trying to gobble as much of the forbidden food as we can before we enter Lent on Ash Wednesday. So I suggest you do that. Okay. Now, the gospel for this Sunday from Mark chapter 1, verse 21 following. Then they came to Capernaum, and on the Sabbath Jesus entered the synagogue and taught. The people were astonished at his teaching, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes. In their synagogue was a man with an unclean spirit, who cried out, "What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." Jesus rebuked him and said, "Quiet, come out of him." The unclean spirit convulsed him with a loud cry and came out of him. All were amazed, and they asked one another, "What is this? A new teaching with authority. He commands even the unclean spirits, and they obey him. His fame spread everywhere throughout the whole region of Galilee. We are about to enter Lent, and you want to talk about casting out devils. I know that many people think that talking about devils is, it's old school thinking. It's even naive. But as you know, some of you know, I've taught a rather lengthy course on Is the Devil for Real? Bottom answer is yes, by the way. But not so, by the way. The devil is very real throughout Scripture, from the beginning of the book of Genesis on through the end of the book of Revelation. There is the struggle between God and some of his creatures, disobedient angelic world that we call Lucifer and his minions, or that we name the devil or Satan. And some theologians have guesstimated over the centuries that there are as many devils as there are stars in the sky. That's sort of scary. But it is also guesstimated, if you can count spirits, that only about a third, and this is from ancient writings and speculations and personal revelations to saints, that only about a third of the angelic world fell. So 2/3 are on our side, and that's a great, great thing. But I teach the course every once in a while because I want to keep recalling to people that we are indeed involved in spiritual warfare. Probably the ugliest thing in this story today in the gospel is not the devil himself, it's people's attitudes. And that's devilish. That is oftentimes Satan inspired. Darkness against light, evil against good. Jesus has just entered the synagogue on the Sabbath. He sees a man possessed of the devil, and he, of course, immediately, as God would, responds in kindness and love and takes care of the fellow. But in the meantime, there are people standing around saying, well, why can he do this? How can he do this? He's just a carpenter's son, and all the negative stuff that Jesus encountered as he faced off with the devil. And again, that devil will go with him right at least to the Garden of Gethsemane, maybe even to the cross. The devil is so real that, as I have mentioned in my course, most dioceses, if not all, should have at least one official exorcist appointed by the bishop of the diocese. I did not realize until this week. I thought we had 2 exorcists. They're priests. They have to be priests. And they have to be appointed by the bishop so that the exorcist exercises his role in obedience to a higher power, which is not the devil's exactly, not his fare, not his food for a life. Obedience, humility, they're low on his diet, I'll tell you. So the priest, in obedience and subjecting himself in humility to the bishop, will take cases appointed to him. I thought, as I said, we had 2 exorcists in our diocese. I think at one time we did. I found out several days ago that we have one of those people in our family of parishes. And they usually don't let their names be told or hang out there because they would be pestered 24/7. And even as short a time as this one priest has been an exorcist, he's had people banging on his front door in the middle of the night with due cause. Come to find out, our diocese doesn't have two lectors. Pardon me, exorcists. We have 5. I don't know what that says about us, but 5 lectors in the Church of the Archdiocese of Detroit. Think about it. It's serious stuff, very serious stuff. So, we're soon entering Lent to do battle with Satan and to arm ourselves with the power and war clothes, if you will, of Jesus our Christ. God bless you.